Oh, well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday podcast, coming to you live from the first Friday in October, October 3rd. And this is being broadcast live on Facebook and Instagram, and it will be available on YouTube later. Hope y'all are all doing well and that it's been a pretty good week for you. Uh, not the most chunky with news week out there, but still lots going on and trying to make this less dramatically bright. Um Still lots going on, a lot happening in the world, and so we want to get on it and talk about these things, but I hope you're all doing well. It is Hey, good morning, Miss Lynn. It's going to be a week for sure, or a weekend for sure. A lot going on, but glad to be here. Glad to spend some time hanging out with y'all and going over some news. Uh, so yeah, let's jump right on it. I want to make sure I'm on Wi-Fi over here. Sorry, had a brain fart. Yep, good. Okay. Um, First up in our news for the week, K-pop Demon Hunters are officially coming to Fortnite this week, with new battle skins and a Demon Rush mode. So if Hey Jeff, good morning, man. If you're a Demon Slayer, not Demon Slayer, Demon Hunter person or Fortnite person, this is happening for you. There's been a lot of talk this week back and forth over a new AI generated actress who is titled Tilly Norwood and is an actress that is generated by an AI engine and is uh receiving a management and contract to be cast in films alongside uh real life actors. SAG-AFTRA and other organizations are not happy about this, as well as many other people in the acting community. So if you're seeing stuff in the near future about Tilly Norwood, that's why, an AI generated actress, and because what could go wrong? Um, Henry Cavill uh recently was announced that he was going to be out of commission a little bit for the Highlander reboot because of an injury. He suffered an injury to his left leg filming the Highlander. But he's back to not only recovery but active workouts, and he posted photos and such of him working out with his leg in a cast. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that Henry Cavill working out while injured is still probably more effective than most of us working out while fully healed. So Henry Cavill is killing the game, and I hope Highlander is completely worth it. Um, I hoped this was a joke when I saw it, but it is what it is because, us talking about pumpkin spice stuff is just part of our culture at this point. Mr. Clean Spiced Harvest uh, will be releasing. This is a limited edition fall pumpkin themed Mr. Clean. So if you want your kitchen's fresh, crisp, clean smell to be like pumpkin spice, uh you can you can get right on that. Um this past couple weeks there was a successful launch of the Daredevil and Batman. I said those words wrong. Deadpool and Batman comic book that was technically owned by Marvel. For this release, which featured an all-star cast of writers and such, that featured a story where Deadpool uh, hunted down Bruce Wayne for the sake, or hunted down Batman for the sake of the Joker, and that story played out. It also featured Daredevil and Green Arrow teaming up, Wonder Woman and Captain America having a relationship, and a few other crossovers. Crypto and Jeff the Landshark. It was just good stuff across the board. A follow-up under the DC banner will be coming out in 2026. That will be Superman and Spider-Man combo. So we're getting a follow-up and more combo coming up. And again, this is like the first crossover event in like decades. Um, Lionel Richie lovingly performed an exorcism on Kelly Clarkson on one of her recent shows to exorcise her of her grief that she's going through. So also definitely nothing can go wrong there. This dude, has been around. Uh, Covered that last time. Let's see. 19 people were injured after a field rush altercation following Virginia's win over Florida State this past week. Because anytime people rush out of the stands onto a football field, what do you think is going to happen? Somebody's going to get trampled because it's a crowd. Um, but yeah, a lot of people rushed the field at Scott Stadium, and law enforcement wasn't able to hold it at bay. Hey, Bella, good morning. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco got married this week, so they officially tied the knot and did that. So congratulations to both of them. Uh, if you have ever been to the coastal region of North Carolina, specifically like the Southport area and down in that region, it is known for its fresh seafood. People go there just for that. One of the destinations there has always been the American Fish Company. And there was a shooting that took place at the American Fish Company this past week. Three people are dead and eight people are injured after the shooting there at the American Fish Company. Multiple people were shot at a Mormon church in Michigan um, on Sunday. Uh, it appears four people were shot and the church was set on fire. It was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, which is about 50 miles south of Detroit. But four people were shot and the church building was set on fire. I just literally remember y'all being in high school and seeing Columbine happen and thinking this would be a once in a lifetime thing. And the shootings are just, yeah. Uh, but the shooter from the fish company was Nigel Max Edge, which, first of all, who names their child Nigel Max Edge? That's just a side note. He sounds like a Bond villain or a henchman. Um, but Nigel Max Edge is a 40-year-old man from Oak Island, North Carolina. He was arrested for the Southport shootings, which did left four dead, several other injured, and he's being charged with 13 felony counts, including first-degree murder and attempted murder. Also in North Carolina news that is less traumatic, um, a cowboy on a horse took his horse through the sheets on Rayford Road. Um, if you've ever been in the Rayford Road slash far into Fayetteville, you've seen a gentleman riding around on a horse in very enthusiastic fashion. This man rode his horse into Sheets to pick up some food on Rayford Road because that's how we do it in North Carolina. Um, Police issued a statement after the Rayford Road horse Sheets incident, saying for safety and store policy reasons, please keep large animals outside. Service animals are the usual exception, yet this is kind of large if you're using for emotional support. The horse was on its best behavior, but it startled many people. So please don't ride your horses into Sheets. Covered. Um, the Good morning, Stephen. How you doing, man? The vocalist behind the Huntrix team from K-pop Demon Hunters will be making their debut performance on tonight's show on Jimmy Fallon. So the three ladies who are the vocals for the music will be making their debut there. They were also at the Video Music Awards as well. A large earthquake happened in the Philippines this week in Cebu, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake. Multiple deaths were reported after that, but a huge earthquake in the Philippines did take place. One of the things that has been spoken of in brief spurts online, but has not gotten a ton of coverage, is um, the Nigerian Christian slaughtering that has been taking place over the last year or so. Um, and Relevant Magazine posted a story this week is like, why is no one talking about this? And it's estimated that there more than 19,000 churches have been destroyed. And over 52,000 Christians have been murdered in this course by Islamic extremists. And I understand why that's not a topic people really want to talk about. But here's how you know that um, things are bad. Um, Good morning, Tristan. But here's how you know when things are bad. When Bill Maher, if you're familiar with Bill Maher is I guess he was a former comedian, but now he's a talk show host, political pundit, and he's very aggressive in his nature, and he's usually very anti-faith, anti-Christian, anti anything of that nature. Bill Maher took to his TV show Real Time with Bill Maher to ask why no one is talking about the slaughtering of Christians in Nigeria. Um, and when Bill Maher is the voice saying, "Hey, why aren't we talking about Christians getting murdered?" That says we as a world are just not paying attention. The fact that we're talking about so many other little things, but not mentioning this. But in his real time segment on his show, he says, if you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. Um, Tristan says Bill was fantastic on his approach on this topic, and Tristan, I agree. That honestly, it was refreshing. Really, he says if you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You're in a bubble. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of the entire country. Where are the kids protesting this? So he says, of all the things that are getting protested, why is this not getting brought up? Why is this not getting protested? So be aware, be in prayer, and pay attention. Um, but he says that they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. Um, and so he's calling for people to be advocates. He's calling for people to respond with aid. And but it's pretty it's pretty telling when the largest and loudest voice for Christian slaughter is one of its politically biggest opponents. So, food for thought. Back to the earthquake that happened in the Philippines in Cebu. The head count that I saw was 22 that passed away in that head count. Um, Pepsi um, is going to be releasing a line of dirty sodas. Um, that includes dirty Mountain Dew cream soda, Pepsi wild cherries and cream, and mug root beer. And I want to say it's a waffle flavor. So Pepsi is dropping some interesting vibes with that. A full series has officially been ordered. Um, or wait, no, it's been picked up for a pilot. They are making a pilot TV series of very young Frankenstein. If you are a child of the 80s or you like horror or comedy, there was a Gene Wilder um, film called Young Frankenstein, which was kind of a comedic marvel of its time. Now they're making a very Young Frankenstein as a comedy show, effectively to fill the void that What We Do in the Shadows left. Um, and the pilot will star Zach Galifianakis, Dolly Wells, Spencer House, Nick Crawford, and Kumail Nanjiani are all signed on for the very Young Frankenstein uh, TV series, and it will be a prequel to Very Young Frankenstein or something to that effect, following the life. But that would be on FX, and it literally was just replacing the void of What We Do in the Shadows. So you can keep a lookout for that. The pilot's being made, and usually, if they're taking the time to make a pilot, it's going to go there for this. If the numbers reported are to be considered accurate, um, tickets for John Cena's final match on Sunday Night Main Event on December 13th, 2025, um, are ranging up to, hey, good morning, Any Scriptures. Um, or Any Scriptures, yes. Um, Tickets are ranging from front row, ringside, at $11,500 to a standard ticket will range from $250 to $3,000. Fifth row is $6,000 and second row is $9,000. So if you really are about that life and you want to be present for John Cena's final match in Washington, D.C., um, yeah. Tristan says there's just been a trailer drop for a new Frankenstein movie and it looks pretty good. There are two Frankenstein movies that are dropping. There's one from Guillermo del Toro for Netflix that has Oscar Isaacs as Frankenstein, not the monster, like the doctor. Um, and there's one called The Bride, which is made by Maggie Gyllenhaal, which features Christian Bale as Frankenstein, but it also has a Bonnie and Clyde vibe. Like Frankenstein and the Bride are committing crimes and driving around in a car in a mob era vibe. So the Bride looks wonderful. Like I feel like I would watch that in a heartbeat. But also Christian Bale just kind of rocks it as Frankenstein. I know the Guillermo del Toro one's going to be dark and brooding and all the things, but I think that one's also coming to Netflix. Um, but either way. So yeah, there's a Frankenstein movie, Tristan. A couple of them. Pom Klimtieff, which is Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Adam Copeland, which wrestling fans would know as Adam Copeland or Edge, have officially joined the cast of The Beekeeper 2, the Jason Statham action movie. So that's happening. I'm a big fan of Alan Richardson, uh, Reacher. Uh, and so I'm always keeping an ear out for things that he's playing. So Alan Richardson or Richson, I'm reading it. Why can't I not? I don't have to keep guessing. It's in front of me. Alan Richson is going to play a stay-at-home dad pursued by a ruthless mercenary, um, co-starring Kevin James, in a new movie called Playdate. So Kevin James and Alan Richson are dads being hunted by a mercenary, and it turns into like a chaotic, infused battle. So yes, an action comedy starring Alan Richson and Kevin James is absolutely happening. In news of losses, Jane Goodall, the renowned nature conservationist, animal lover, and promoter of all things beautiful in nature, passed away this week at the age of 91. Uh, the folks who are behind the TV series Letterkenny have a new show coming, called I Killed the Bear, produced by the Letterkenny creator Jared Kessa or Kiso, and production is underway, and it has a very chunky cast of characters as well. If you enjoyed the Drake and Kendrick beef. Then we have our newest rap beef going on right now, and it is between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Um, and it has been happening over Twitter, back and forth, and it's been ugly. Uh, but the last update I saw of it was Cardi B saying, "This is beyond Twitter now. I'll see you when I see you." Um, and it goes from everything from Cardi B calling her out of like, "Why are you focused on this?" to literally putting a long message out calling for her to acknowledge the abuse that Nikki went through as a child and that she needs to get help and therapy. Um, but it's pretty intense, the back and forth. They aren't rapping, they aren't rhyming, they aren't creating award-winning videos. They're just being real nasty on Twitter. So if you enjoy rap beef, Merry Christmas. Um, Covered that one. Oh, hold on. Good morning, y'all. There we go. Uh, and the actor Tyrese, who is known for many things, including Four Brothers and Fast and the Furious, et cetera, has been arrested this week because his dogs killed a neighboring dog, and he's being held accountable for it. And I don't think that's going to be something that's going to leave him in jail or anything, but that did happen. It was announced this week that Bad Bunny will officially be headlining the Super Bowl, and this announcement was met with a lot of fervor and backlash of people having lots of negative opinions about it. Um, from people saying that we shouldn't have a Super Bowl halftime show where there's no songs in English, to we needed a rock band, to people thinking it would be Metallica because it's Metallica's town or at least region. Um, I'll be fully honest. I don't know about any of Bad Bunny's music. I've played it at a couple events. I've watched him wrestle. I've watched him do it at Saturday Night Live, and he's quite funny. I believe he would put on an entertaining show. Would I know any of the songs? Nope. Um, But to be fair, I only knew Kendrick's songs, the little bit of I knew about Kendrick's songs because of the rap beef. Um, if you put on an entertaining show, you can put on an entertaining show. But I understand people are very opinionated and want and desire different things for their entertainment in this facet. So that's happening. Today, October 3rd, as I'm recording this, Sean P. Diddy Combs will be sentenced for his trial and crimes. Um, Before today, he put out a plea this week asking for mercy from the judge and saying, I was dead wrong. So, sometime today, Diddy is going to be sentenced for his crimes. In recent scientific studies, it is linking that high pollen count leads to increased suicide risk. That almost 1,200 suicides per year are linked to high pollen counts and people suffering from seasonal allergies. And I think I understand like why that could seem silly or that could seem almost like a joke, but I'm going to tell you this. Um, when you're emotionally down and you're struggling, um, and it feels like you can't get a moment's peace in your head and your brain and your body are itching and you're struggling to actually breathe and have a moment, I can understand that being something that would irritate you at when you're already emotionally in a rough place. So they're saying make sure you're taking care of your allergies because that can help put you in a positive mental place. Um, this week in Washington State, um, a toddler went out and found a hand grenade that was active buried in his front yard and brought it inside to his family to show them. Uh, Bomb techs came and disposed of it, but literally a toddler went out in his front yard and dug around and found a active hand grenade. So be careful where you're digging. The Chosen has officially set a Guinness World Record as being recognized as the most translated season for a streaming TV series in history. Um, it's available in 86 languages currently, with a goal to reach 600 languages. Now, if you're anything like me, you can't name 86 languages, and you didn't know there were 600 languages. But congratulations to the Chosen on the world record and for putting that effort to be translated. Also in Chosen news, there is a new animated series. I mentioned it a little bit last week, but I didn't know all the details of it. Um, there is an animated claymation looking series called The Chosen Adventures, which will feature, talking animals and everything, um, with some famous actors. But if the series is going to feature or follow around a 9-year-old girl named Abby and her best friend Joshua as they navigate life in the city of Capernaum, um, it's going to be about them interacting with Jesus and then changing the way that they see the world. And so it's going to be about kids in Jesus's time that interact with Jesus and different stuff with that. It's going to be produced by the same team that makes The Chosen, and it will still have the same actor portraying Jesus. Do Going to my news stories, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okie dokie. Um, WWE or former WWE superstar Braun Strowman, which is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. Braun Strowman has officially, well, I don't know if it's official yet. He is in talks to play Jason Voorhees in an upcoming revival of Friday the 13th. So first of all, we're getting more Friday the 13th movies. Second of all, Braun Strowman is going to be playing Jason, which will be the most menacing looking Jason we've ever seen then. Um, Olympic champion Noah Lyles and his fiance, also Olympian Janelle Bromfield, got baptized this week as they felt that this was the time to do that and that God has had a hold on their life and they wanted to give all glory to Him. Um, they posted videos of their recent baptism at a live church in Orlando and even did like a really cute photo spread for it. So, congratulations to both of you. Hillshire is recalling more than 58 million pounds of products after learning that they could have foreign material in them, and that goes for corn dogs, sausage, things of that nature. So Hillshire Farms, um, yep, watch out for that. Uh, New in just this year, there are people that have officially become billionaires. Um, with Arnold Schwarzenegger officially became a billionaire. Jerry Spring, Jerry Springs, sorry, Jerry Seinfeld and Bruce Springsteen, and 285 other people have officially become billionaires. But those three are ones that just officially became billionaires this year. If reports are to be believed, Free Run Season 2 will air on January 16th of 2025. So for those of you who are emotionally damaged and waiting on your next season of Free Run, it's not too far away. Uh, Taibo legend. If you've ever done Taibo or watched Taibo or anything like that, Billy Blanks was the host of Taibo, and it was a VHS and DVD series that did like aerobic workouts and martial arts vibes with kicks and jabs and lunges and stuff like that. I still have some Taibo DVDs because I enjoyed doing those. Billy Blanks has officially released a Christian rap album at the age of 70 years old. So if you woke up today on this crisp Friday morning and said, you know what? I really need to hear Billy Blanks do some Christian hip hop. Now's your chance. Tybo, Billy Blanks, Christian rap. Merry Christmas. Um, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have officially split after 19 years of being together. Um, Tristan says, yes, we're waiting on free reign. He'll take all the damage. I feel you, man. I need to rewatch season one because I've only seen it once, and I felt there was so much emotionally in season one, and I didn't fully unpack it as I was watching it. Miss Lynn says this was not on her 2025 bingo card. No, getting a Billy Blanks hip hop album, Christian hip hop album, was not it. Um, but no, I don't think I fully unpacked all the emotional weight of Free Ren in general, and I do need to rewatch it. I keep wanting my daughter Rosa to watch it, but we've not had the time of actually being around. And when she's home, she wants her comfort shows and stuff. So, um, yeah, absolutely on that. On a side anime note, I started Naruto for the first time as just to be a background anime while I'm working and doing graphic design on my day job and everything. And I'm like halfway through season four of nine, and I guess they're shipping in after this. I'll say this, it's okay so far. Like, I appreciate a lot of what I've seen. I don't feel like it's the best anime, but it's also definitely not the worst. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more of the character development going forward. I really like Hinata so far and Rock Lee, but they've been kind of out of the loop. Anyway, covered that. Making sure I'm going through all my right stories. Uh, After being rumored and not ever really put into practice, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair will be released in theaters nationwide for the first time on December 5th. And select presentations will be in 70 millimeter and 35 millimeter film. It will also include a 7-minute animated sequence that's never been seen. And Quentin Tarantino says he wrote and directed it as one movie, and he's glad for fans to finally get to see it. So if you're not aware of what the whole bloody affair is, um, Kill Bill was going to be one movie, it was too big, and so they split it up. But he wrote it to be one continuous story. No breaks, no credits in between or anything like that. So Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair will be Kill Bill 1 and 2 cut and edited together with a new 7-minute animation sequence. You can catch me there with my popcorn because I'm on that. Taco Bell is launching a new dessert called the Taco Latte, a waffle cone filled with cinnamon ancho chill ice cream and dipped in chocolate. Now, they've had Choco Tacos before, but they weren't like Taco Bell brand per se. But the Taco Latte is officially coming out from Taco Bell, and they also have their key lime pie or their Mountain Dew key lime pie vibe coming. In the world of wrestling, Andrade has officially returned to AEW, making him the first wrestler to go from WWE to AEW to WWE to AEW. So he's the first one to bounce back between the four consecutively, or the two back to back to back. Two regional jets collided in Charlotte, North Carolina, or at an airport. One flight from Charlotte had 57 passengers. One from Roanoke had 28 passengers, but they collided on the runway with at LaGuardia with one wing slamming into a cockpit. To my understanding, there were no fatalities, but that's still super alarming to have your planes crash into each other on the runway. I check what my news looks like, make sure I've been through everything. Uh, this week, Elon Musk officially becomes the first person to reach $500 billion in net worth. Um, yep. Uh, an entire corner of a New York City apartment building officially collapsed after a reported gas explosion on inside the apartment block. And that the explosion happened shortly after 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning at the Mitchell House building. Uh, John, yeah, I just mentioned that the Super Kill Bill, the Whole Bloody Affair is coming, December 5th to theaters. But yeah, the Mitchell House building, it's a high rise that makes up 11 building complex in that area. Gas explosion caused that to bust. If you weren't aware, the United States government is officially in a shutdown for the first time since the historic 35-day stoppage in 2018 over Border Patrol funding. Um, and there are posts and advertisements of both sides blaming each other for things. All knows we need to get things going and we need to work together because it's not good. Um, President Trump officially won a lawsuit against YouTube. This is now because ABC had to pay President Trump $16 million at one point in time, or was it Paramount? Either way, President Trump had a $16 million lawsuit that panned out in his favor earlier this year. Now he has officially uh, got a lawsuit that he is settling with YouTube over YouTube. What's up, LJ? Um, Congratulations on yesterday, man. Um, but the president uh, sued YouTube over censorship on conservative comments after the things that happened at the in July 2021. Um, and so yeah, YouTube has paid to pay President Trump $24 million in the settlement. Also on those same kind of political and entertainment notes, Disney reportedly lost nearly 2 million subscribers during the Jimmy Kimmel suspension, right at 1.7 million subscribers. I don't know if they're all back, but they have potentially lost them. If you are in the market for a house or an island, there is a house tropical retreat island off the coast of Nicaragua. Currently, you can get your own home. It's a three-bedroom house, 5 acres of land, and your own staff and your own tiny island off Nicaragua for the low price of $475,000. Um, so if you need your own tiny island, it's 500,000 right off Nicaragua. Yep. Um, Two victims were killed and three people were seriously injured after a synagogue was attacked um, on Yom Kippur um, in Israel. Uh, and that's, considered one of their holiest days. And so it was a rough day for the attack and the things of that nature with that. I think that might be my news stories. I'm going through everything just to double check. Superman and Spider-Man, K-pop Demon. Oh, here's one. Here's a couple that I bypassed. Um, it's officially, I'm going to say this now that it's come out after being the last night's episode, and it's not like a hint thing. Um, Peacemaker season two has featured a storyline where Peacemaker ends up in an alternate dimension where the Nazis won World War II. And part of the dance opening sequence of the Peacemaker season two um, kind of hints at the storyline of everything they're going through in the show. And there's a dance move called Peaceful Hips, which, if you do it fast enough or were to layer it, would potentially make a swastika on out of the dance move. And it's, I think, supposed to be alluding to the fact that they're about to face Nazis. Um, but that dance was included as an emote in Fortnite for the Peacemaker skin. Um, and so it has officially been disabled as a skin in Fortnite. Or not the emote has, not the Peacemaker skin, until they had some more conversations with between Epic Games and Warner Brothers. Um, so that totally happened. Um, a Lego Game Boy has come out that will display the image of a game but not actually play a game. But hackers have already learned to hack the Lego Game Boy and make it actually play real games. So I'm sure you can find somebody to hack your Lego set. A Florida mom won a Mortal Kombat XL tournament while holding her 5 day old baby after uh, having her child. Her gaming name is Legion, and she showed up to the Juicy Game Night in Orlando just a couple days after having a C-section. And she won the tournament while holding the baby in her lap. She even beat her husband, who also competed in the tournament, um, on the way up. And she says that she only won because her baby coached her mid-set. Um, so she just wanted to win. Congratulations. A Peaky Blinders sequel series has officially been ordered for Netflix and BBC. It's a two-season order on Netflix, and this is also going to follow a Peaky Blinders movie, which has already been filmed. Covered that. Yep, Cardi B. Okay, I think that might be all of our news stories. Um, that being said, with the news and everything else. Oh, now here's a cool one. Uh, the Church and Community Center in Robinson County, which is where I live, received a $1 million gift from the Gray Estate. And that is I yep, John, I posted about Kelly this morning, and I'm gonna mention that again. Um, The Gray Estate donated $1 million to the Robinson County Church Community Center, which is an organization that helps provide food, clothing, and opportunities and stuff for people in need in our area. And they got a $1 million grant or a gift. So that's huge. Um, yep. EA Video Games has officially been purchased by a Saudi Arabia company for $55 billion. So just in terms of the numbers, y'all, that's um, more than 11 times the amount that was paid for Marvel Pictures and the amount that was paid for Star yeah, Marvel and Star Wars by Disney. Just throw that out there. But EA has been purchased for 55 billion. Mhm. That may be it. All right. Uh, So just in terms of news and stuff, we'll get ready for our Bible reading in just a minute. I'll let you know I'll be heading out to where am I heading? Uh Today I'll be heading to Boardwalk Comic Con in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for a show this weekend. Next weekend I'll be at Boone Comic Con, and the weekend after that I will be at Geek Church for Fayetteville Fan Fest for upcoming shows. Um and let you know with that. Also, we put out two new stickers this week. Yes, or one new sticker and one revamped sticker. And currently doing Inktober. If you are watching through Inktober, head over to my Instagram for that. If you want to see Inktober's, because I'm just going to post them on Instagram for the most part instead of everywhere else. With that, but yeah, I think that's that. Currently, 9 chapters deep in writing my Dungeons and Dragons inspired novel, and also 3/4 of the way of transcribing the next bite-sized devotional. So those are that. I've got a Superman chapter that I'm marinating and working on. Also a One Piece chapter, but I honestly need to see them finish this story arc. Because even buying the manga, I can't jump ahead unless I'm downloading it illegally, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, let's jump into our Bible reading real quick, and then we'll progress with that. We're gonna roll to see which portion of the Bible we're reading. Fist is Old Testament. Um, Scissors is New Testament, and then paper is the whole Bible. So we're gonna roll for uh, rock, paper, scissors, Old Testament, New Testament, or the whole Bible, and see what we're reading. We are reading the whole Bible, which means we're gonna roll 3d20s and 66. So we need at least a d10 and subtract 8. Okay, or 4. Sorry. Mm, need a d10. Here we go. All right, so we're going to roll these four dice and subtract 4 to allow for the chance to be able to get Genesis. Okay. All right, move this wire out of the way. See which book of the Bible we're reading. It's a 14 and a 12 and a 10 and an 11. Okay. So 25, 37, 47 minus 4 is 43. We're going to read the 43rd book of the Bible, which I believe is going to put us in the gospel. So that's 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay. We're in the book of John. Hmm. John, and there are 21 chapters in John. So we are going to roll a d20 and mm, let's say a d4. D20 and d4. Hey, what's up, Eric? Good morning, man. I'm assuming that's Eric under uh Nerd Chapel. All right, so let's see what we land on. All right, so we are reading John chapter 15. Dude, I love John chapter 15. That's a great chapter. Um, yeah, not that there's technically bad chapters of scripture, but roll with me. Um, John chapter 15. Where is my backpack? That's over here. Blah. Oh, so John chapter 15. And congratulations on your first solo book, Eric. What's the title of that again? Like I'm no, I can try and call it up from memory, but I don't want to say it wrong. But if you let me know, I'll announce it. I don't want a pen. Highlighter. Oh. All right, John chapter 15. Here we go. I am the vine, or sorry, I am the true vine, and my father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. And usually this is one of those verses that people will say, will bring up when you're going through hard times, even though you're doing the right thing, is the fact that God prunes you to make you more healthy as you grow. Eric says the release party is tomorrow. It's called Dead False Gods, an unauthorized Christian reflection on Stargate SG-1. So Eric did a solo all Stargate devotional and essay release book. So he's having a release party for it tomorrow, and that's pretty cool. Eric does geeky ministry and stuff in the Midwest. I think is the correct region to call it. Verse 3 says this: You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Verse 4 says, Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. So, side note for y'all that care or would remotely be interested, um, about a decade ago, what year is this? 2005, 25? Yeah. Uh, good grief. 2 decades ago, I was a part of a band called Three Remain, which is like we were somewhere along the lines of Casting Crowns-ish. Um, and we had a song called Remain in Me that was based on this verse. And we put out a CD and we went to a studio and we played fairs and junk and did the little Christian music scene for a while. But yes, every time I read that verse, I hear the bridge of that song. Um, Verse 5 says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I remain in you, you will bear much fruit, which is, I always take as a promise. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So it's like the promise followed by the warning. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up and thrown into the fire and burned. Um, Always like to highlight this as you are like a branch, not that you are going to be a branch that is thrown into the fire and burned. Um, Verse 7 says, If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. Uh, and just the reality is that when you have a right relationship with somebody, you can ask for things a lot more effectively than you can if you're in a strained relationship. And that goes for human standards. So I think it definitely also goes for biblical standards of like when you're in a right relationship with God, you can ask for things a lot more clearly than you can if you're not. Verse 8 says, This is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. And I think that's an important thing because if you just look at that statement on its own, like if you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, that can sound pretty harsh. That can sound like very conditional in that capacity. But the reality is, if Jesus had to remain in God, in obedience to God, to be like in the course of his love, then it's also equal and fair for us to have to do the same thing. Verse 11 says, I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. I am a big fan of just some of the things that Jesus says in John 10 and John 15, just the fact that he wants us to have life and have it abundantly, but he says, I want my joy to be in you and I want your joy to be complete. So he doesn't just want you to have his joy, he wants our joy to be complete because his joy is in us. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Cut and dry. That's a whole sentence with periods included. Verse 13 says, Greater love is no one than this to lay down his life. Greater love has no one than this to lay down one's life for one's friends. Um, you are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command. Love each other. Uh, just solid Jesus being Jesus. Verse 18. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin, but now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates the Father as well. If I had not done among them the works no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. As it is, they have seen and yet have hated both me and my Father. But this is to fulfill what is written in their law. They hated me without reason. Mm. Verse 26. Then, or when the advocate comes, whom I will send you from the Father, the Spirit of truth who goes out from the Father, he will testify about me. And you must also testify, for you have been with me from the beginning. A lot of good, meaty stuff in this chapter. John 15 and John 17 are some of the strongest chapters in the book of John, period, and the gospel, period. One verse I'm just going to take away as my little plug and reminder for this is my command, love each other. Y'all, it is so simple. It is so literally, Jesus spends all this time in the beginning of 15 talking about the branches and the vines and everything else. And as he ends that point, he says, this is my command, love each other. And if we could just literally nail that down, we'd be killing it. Um, yeah. So upcoming stuff, I just told you about the cons that I'm doing, and stuff that I'm working on. Uh, on some update notes medically and things like that. I have a surgical consult on Monday. Um, and I had a previous surgical consult, but we've found some more stuff since that consult, um, that they've not looked at yet. So gonna have to see what that looks like, but potentially looking at some spinal surgery in hopefully December. Um, I'm I just need it to be after November like 10th. Because I'm going to see Almost Famous in Connecticut, and I don't want to miss it. Um, when they were talking about surgery, the two things that I was like, I need to be okay for, or to be like not in the hospital recovering, is I need to not miss Almost Famous in Connecticut, and I need to be able to watch John Cena's final match on TV. That was my two things. I was like, past that, we'll work around everything else. But also want to ask you to pray for my friend Kelly, who's one of the people that's usually on this live stream. He is undergoing a procedure this morning at Duke. Definitely praying for him. Yeah. If you are a 21 Pilots fan and you are going to be at the 21 Pilots concert in Charlotte on, I think it's Wednesday. It's one of the days this week, Wednesday. If you're going to be at this concert on Wednesday, I will have some stickers that are brand new that are premiering at the show this weekend, but I'll be giving them out to like 21 Pilots people at the show. So if you run into me, just come say hi, I'll give you a sticker. If you happen to be, and I know this one's a lot less likely basing on my audience of y'all being you, um, there's a ministry conference called Carolina Movement that is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you're at Carolina Movement, come say hi. I'll give you free stuff too. Um, I'll be there for Tuesday. Um, Yeah. Gonna get ready and do some work and get packed up to go do this con. But before I go, I want to say thank you all for being amazing and supporting. I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters. And with that, Jackie Kraft, Kelly Townsend, who is undergoing surgery this morning, Alan Wallace, Fab Quack, Rivka and Tristan Birch, Dorothy Martin Winston, Michelle Stewart, Miss Lynn Turner, who I'm going to see at a Comic Con on Sunday, David Brooks, Mr. Jeff Weimer, Colin Sproles, Jamie Montgomery, the Coleman family, Jonathan Herman, Ron Petit, Gear Saber Cosplay, Scott Ward, Alicia Glenn, Jay Sheed, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, John Jacobs, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis. Thank you all for being the support and the encouragement that um, Tristan says, are you hanging out for the final session of um, My Hero Academia starting this week? Um, I don't know. I don't think I've watched the anime in a minute, Tristan. I've been reading the manga, and I think the final manga drops on October 11th, and I was gonna read it there. But I might tune in. But I've not kept up with the anime to see exactly where the anime is. But thank you for letting me know that My Hero is, ending. I do remember that if my memory serves in my Amazon cart, the final manga is dropping the collected version on October 11th. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that too. But yeah. So thank you all for joining. If you're watching this on Instagram, you can watch it on Facebook Live or YouTube, or you can watch it or listen to it on our podcast channel a little bit later. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, the same thing applies, but reverse it. Um, I want to say thank you all for taking the time to hang out, for listening, for spending your Friday morning or whenever you get the chance to listen to this or watch it. But thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate you being a part of everything we get to do. And I hope I get to see you all at a con real soon. Uh, oh, and I think I may have mentioned this last week, but this is the verse that I want to end things with, and this is the verse I think I'm going to sign books with because I always try and like pick a verse for a season or whatever. This is the one verse that just reading I thought was a really great goodbye verse. Um, 3 John 2 says, "Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well." So may your health be well, may your soul be well, and I look forward to getting to spend more time with you later. Have a great day, y'all.